Two quick straight rhythm related questions for Cam and AJ both, and whoever else is on the podcast. What do you think is the place of two strokes in the world of modern motocross? And for AJ, what did you change about your riding technique, if anything at all, to make the two stroke work in that Supercross setting? Thanks.
What was the first part of the question?
Okay, good question is
where do two strokes
fall in modern motocross? Like, what's their place?
Oh, definitely not Supercross, I'll tell you that much. After doing the 125 at Atlanta and even worse at Gillette last year, it gave me a respect for what Stank Dog was doing on his. The 250 might be a different story, just easier to actually clear the obstacles. The 125 was like, what am I doing out here? I couldn't clear anything. Sorry, what?
Oh, I was going to say something and I decided not to.
So the 250,
I don't think I've ever seen you do that before.
Definitely wasn't yawning.
The 250, 250 would be easier to ride competitively because I'd be confident in saying you could jump most everything. Lack of traction, maybe, but you have a 250 set up right and it's quite good. What was the second part of that question?
Second part was,
what did you change about technique?
Yeah, to ride Supercross.
A lot of clutch. The 125, 250, not so much probably, but the 125 in Supercross, I had to use and abuse the clutch to try to keep the thing from not being in the power, but from just bogging.
I really want you to try the 300.
I'm curious. I've never...
Yeah.
Do you have to use the clutch?
No, that's where I was going with that. It really feels similar to a 350. Like it's insane. It's bottom to mid. Like the delivery is so smooth and it's such a smooth build. I really think you would like it. I think you would want to race it if you rode it, honestly.
Question for not at the pro level, but in the States, in the amateur scene, are you allowed to race a 252 stroke in the 250
yes.
class?
What? Yeah, at a local level, yes.
Yeah,
in the 250F class?
Yes.
Yeah,
which is Canada, yeah.
Which is so messed up to
me.
Totally
unfair.
Yeah, yes, you can.
You used to be able to do it at Loretta's. Can you still?
I'm not sure.
That's
I know
ridiculous.
You can do it at
so
nationals in Canada, and you can do it at the local scene.
Yeah,
like
it's
NESC.
really cool, like to hear that in Canada, like at the.
There was a couple guys that took advantage of that. I remember in the last few years of my amateur days, and I can't remember their names or who it was specifically. Malcolm Stewart in the video of Mini O's was on one.
But weren't you on a 450 though? At least he was in the big bike class.
No, I was on 250 then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on a 450 that year.
That's such a disadvantage because you have
Big
you have to put a lot of money into a 250F to make it keep up with these new modern.
Do you think you still have to do that?
I think with this new fuel injected KTM,
course. Yeah, that kind of
absolutely
the whole game of it.
Yeah, they're faster.
Do you think it was closer like with a carbureted 252 stroke? Do you think a modern 250 4-stroke the playing field is more even?
Well, with that motor work for a 2-stroke is substantially cheaper. Right, so you're doing
2-strokes are fast.
Yeah, and you can really build them to the moon for not a lot of money compared to.
But then the 125 in the 250F class isn't fair.
Yeah,
no.
So there wasn't really ever a good bike to put in that class.
Right.
It's so weird. They need
KTM 150.
Even that is not fair.
No, not quite. Needs to be a 200 maybe. Maybe that would be fair.
And then if you go 252 strokes to 450s, that's not even close.
Right.
So it's weird. They really don't gel with each other.
So okay, I
mess with the set.
I'm gonna poke my eye out of the thing. I keep
True, it was like
here.
right in his face.
Yeah.
So I kept talking about this yesterday because I was riding a YZ 252 stroke and
YZ.
A YZ 250.
Please respect them.
Yeah. Okay. And I was like, man, I always remembered being faster on 2-strokes just a few years ago, and now it's like I'm terrible on 2-strokes.
You sounded fast. If you close your eyes, it's like he's ripping.
It was like, yeah.
Do you say H?
No. Well, I'm not crazy.
Okay.
Who says H? What national is it?
HRC.
Yeah. HRC Honda.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I can't believe I maybe like the Alta messed this up too, but my first choice is not a 2-stroke anymore. It used to be for a long time. Do you think that like fuel injected or oil injected or whatever the heck it is going to change that? Does it ride more like a 4-stroke?
Yeah. The characteristics of this new technology is like, it's not like that Yamaha that you rode the other day where it's like
yeah, right.
It's more of a smooth curve, which is really cool to see.
And you could hear that at Straight Rhythm, actually, like the guys that were on, because they allowed the KTM team to run the 23.
Yeah.
And you could hear how they were coming through. It did not sound like the rest of the entire field. Like they were rolling through the power a lot different than everyone, especially in the final. If you guys watch the final between Ken Roxon and Marvin Muscan sounds like he's taking a stroll through the park, and he was charging. Like, he pushes down so hard you can tell he's charging, and Roxon was just bouncing that thing off the rev limiter.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
I want to ride one.
Yeah, try mine for sure.
Can we all agree that 2-strokes were kind of falling off a little bit? Everyone's like, oh, I feel like at every point in time, people are like, 2-strokes are making a comeback. You know what I mean? But are they?
I think people might say that more or less at different times, but it's never going away, because there's still the purists of, that feel like that was the true test of the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, if I rode in the woods, I'd choose a fuel injected.
And then there's the entire
2-stroke.
off-road community that, like Johnny Walker just won on a 300 2-stroke. His Beta.
Beta or beta?
Beta.
It's
Or
Beta.
beta.
It's definitely beta.
No, the actual nation that makes it, they say it's called Beta.
Beta?
Yeah, that's how they say it.
I like that.
Please?
Yeah,
Beta?
sure.
What?
Bitte. Beta? Bitte? Bitte? Please in German. I think it's bitte. Beta? Where are betas from?
No idea.
It sounds like a vegetable.
The original country, that's how they say it.
I
What
didn't say the
I don't
country.
know.
I just know that that's what it is. It's
Take a
Beta.
guess. If you had to put your money on it, where is that bike from?
It's not Italy, is it?
That's what I would guess.
That's what I would guess.
You think so?
No.
Beta?
No, but that's what I would guess.
Okay.
What would you
think
guess?
so? No.
Sweden?
Fair?
I love these kind of podcasts where it's like a Google away. And we're just like,
when none of us go
Cam?
on our phones.
And you know what? We're not gonna look it up.
No,
we're not
we're
gonna
not.
find.
We're just
after
gonna
this,
wonder.
we're gonna forget we had this conversation, and people are gonna be screaming at their computer screen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Next question. Hit us with it.
Next question.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip and you want to watch full episodes of the podcast and send in video questions of your own, head over to club.themotoacademy.com.